one thing that was revealed to the world last night, unexpectedly. A rare moment, because several nights a week, my wife and I will sit down to watch something somewhere on one of the various streaming services that we currently pay more than $5.99 a month for, which makes Peacock one hell of a deal. But I looked at my phone, I saw the post on X, and I said, can I just have like 10 minutes and I'll be right back? I had to go mobilize because the Falcons announced without warning, without even any leak, without any reporting, without any belief or expectation, Falcons interested in Jim Harbaugh. That was a team that was not on the Jim Harbaugh bingo card. The Falcons announced that they had interviewed Jim Harbaugh for their head coaching vacancy one day after the Falcons interviewed Bill Belichick. Now, we knew there was interest. We didn't know the interview was coming. And now they've interviewed Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh interviewed with the Chargers on Monday and the Falcons on Tuesday. It is a weird sort of transparency from the Falcons. They aren't saying a word to anyone before the interview happens. And then once the interview's done, they tell it to the world. They shout it from the rooftops, hey, we did this interview. So they've done like 7 interviews now, but the past 2 days, they're swinging for the fences with Bill Belichick and Jim Harbaugh. And if you're going to go there, go Mike Vrabel and go Pete Carroll too, for crying out loud. I mean, if you're going to interview one 72-year-old coach who apparently wants to keep coaching, why aren't you going to at least talk to Pete Carroll, who is a lot more spry? Grandma, are you spry? A lot more spry than Bill Belichick.
I have absolutely no idea what you just referenced, but I would also say that he's also been more successful.
Whoa, time out.
Boy.
You told me you watched Bad Santa. You told me you watched Bad Santa. Did you not watch Bad Santa?
I did. No, I did.
If you watch Bad Santa, you know, Grandma, are you spry?
Yes.
Grandma, are you spry?
I recognize it. I recognize it now. The little kid said yes to the grandma who's just like sitting.
You're
in the
so
chair.
wired. You are so wired to have no idea what reference I'm making that's just your default. You don't even think. Maybe I have heard this before.
It's Pavlovian, man, because it's usually just Seinfeld or like Back to the Future and just other stuff I just have not watched. So, yeah, sorry, I wasn't thinking about the good Christmas movie you actually recommended. And then, I actually sat down and watched on your recommendation. So, yeah, there you go. See, I even gave you a compliment there.
With your mother. Not that Bad Santa's over the top, but at times it is. So I don't know how it would have gone back in 1990, sitting down and watching Bad Santa with my mom. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. See, you should take more of my recommendations. If you take one of them and you enjoy the outcome, maybe you shouldn't fight so hard when I give you recommendations regarding great movies and TV shows you've missed over the years. Anyway, you were making a point. I'm sorry.
I was trying to. You're right.
I was making the point. Spry. Pete Carroll. Add Pete Carroll to the interview list. Add Mike Vrabel, who's definitely spry, to the interview list. And who knows where this is going to end for the Falcons.
If you would let me talk and make my point, boy, I would have said mostly those things.
Go ahead.
Because, look, Pete Carroll is not only spry, he's also been more successful than Bill Belichick since 2018, 2019, right? They won the Super Bowl, obviously, the Patriots did in 2018, but since 2019, you look at Pete Carroll and what they've done, they've been more consistent. Now, they are another team that has not necessarily been able to get over the hump, but again, they're finishing 9-8. You're taking Geno Smith, you're making him a viable NFL quarterback, great NFL starter who led the league in completion percentage last year. So these are things where if I am Pete Carroll, it's kind of like, and I want to still coach, it's kind of like, I take interviews. If you're the Falcons and you're going to interview Belichick, go interview Pete Carroll. I think the Chargers should also reach out to Pete Carroll. Obviously, he's very familiar being here in Los Angeles. So I would think that those things could also be on the Falcons' radar. But it was interesting to see that Harbaugh was on the Falcons list. And Mike, also, a lot of times with college coaches, you don't hear that they have gone and interviewed formally, right? We get the hush stuff like, oh yeah, like they did go talk to him, but it's this and it's that. It's funny that with Harbaugh, there's none of the hush. It's like, yeah, he's out there. He wants a new NFL job. And there's no sense in kind of covering that up. Like, we all know what the situation is. He hired Don Yee as his agent. Like, let's go. I find that funny.
Well, and 2 years ago, he packed up and went to Minnesota to interview for the Vikings job like the day before the formal letter of intent signing. Didn't care. It used to be that it was a big secret because you didn't want that used against you in recruiting. You always wanted to be able to say to your recruits, whether it was true or not, I'm here for the next 4 or 5 years. Period. End of statement. You don't have to worry about me leaving. Once you start flirting with the NFL, that's the kiss of death when the other coaches say, I'm not going anywhere, but this other guy who's trying to get you has been flirting with the NFL, and it's just a matter of time before he leaves. I remember when Dennis Erickson became the coach of the 49ers out of the blue. Remember that? 20 years or so ago, back when you were in, fourth grade? Out of the blue. No one had any idea Dennis Erickson was making the jump from whatever college program he was coaching to the 49ers. It was like, what the hell? And that's how it used to be. You didn't even know the guy was remotely interested until the paperwork was signed. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.